Hello everyone. Now let us see next numerical for the Nyquist plot. So here we want to draw the Nyquist plot and we want to determine the stability of the system using a Nyquist stability criteria. So we have a open loop transfer function g of s h of s. So first we have to draw the Nyquist contour or S-plane contour or Nyquist path. For the system, for the given open loop system, we don't have any pole at the origin, we don't have any pole on the j omega axis. So Nyquist path will enclose entire j omega axis and complete right half of S plane. Complete right half of S plane. So that's why we have a Nyquist contour according to the diagram. Already I told you in a previous numerical. If we don't have any pole on the origin, if we don't have any pole on the j omega axis, we have a Nyquist contour according to the figure. So let us define section C1, section C2, section C3. Define minus j infinity plus j infinity. Define minus 0 minus plus 0 plus. And for semicircle, we are assuming that radius is capital R as limit R tends to infinity. So first we will map section C1 from S plane to GH plane. After that we will map section C2, then we will map section C3. In last we can say we can map S plane to GH plane to define an Nyquist plot. So here I am considering a section C1. So for section C1 you can say it is on the j omega axis. That's why we have s equal to j omega. Already I told you in previous numerical, and omega will vary from 0 to infinity or 0 plus to infinity. Let us put s equal to j omega in open loop transfer function because we want to map C1 from S plane to GH plane. So we have gj omega hj omega equal to k j omega minus 2 divided by j omega plus 1 power 2. Let us calculate the magnitude. We have k under root omega square plus 4 divided by under root omega square plus 1 under root omega square plus 1, because we can write j omega plus 1 power 2 as j omega plus 1 into j omega plus 1. That's why we have two term in denominator polynomial for the magnitude. Similarly, we can define phase angle with the help of phi equal to tan inverse omega over minus 2 for the second numerator term, because for first numerator term we have phase angle 0 degree. For denominator term we have phase angle minus tan inverse omega by 1, because we have power 2. That's why for second term we have phase angle for denominator term minus tan inverse omega, or you can write minus 2 tan inverse omega. But for first term we have xy in second quadrant, so actual value of tan inverse omega by minus 2 is given by 180 minus tan inverse omega by 2. So we have phase angle according to second equation. Now define magnitude and phase angle for omega equal to 0 and for omega equal to infinity to draw the polar plot. So for omega equal to 0, for omega equal to 0, from equation first we have magnitude 2k, we have phase angle 180 degree, and for omega equal to infinity we have magnitude 0, we have phase angle 0 degree. we have phase angle for omega equal to infinity. We have phase angle 180 minus 90 minus 90 minus 90. So we have phase angle, sorry, 9 minus 90 degree. For omega equal to 0, we have phase angle from second equation 180 degree. And for omega equal to infinity, from second equation we have phase angle 180 minus 90 degree minus 90 degree minus 90 degree. So we have minus 90 degree phase angle. Now let us see how we can draw the polar plot. So this is real of GH, vertical will define imaginary of GH. This is 0 degree line, minus 90 degree line, minus 180 degree line, minus 270 degree line. If we consider angles in counterclockwise direction, this is a 90 degree line and this is a plus 180 degree line, because we have phase angle 180 degree plus 180 degree for omega equal to 0, and for omega equal to infinity we have phase angle minus 90 degree. So graph will start from line 180 degree. We have magnitude 2k, it is finite value, so we can mark on 180 degree line. Here we have omega equal to 0, magnitude we have 2k, or you can say 0 plus. Now for omega equal to infinity, we have a phase angle minus 90 degree, minus 90 degree. So here we can say we will move from second quadrant to fourth quadrant via first quadrant, because you can say for omega equal to 0 value is 180 degree, and for omega equal to infinity value is minus 90 degree. So in anti-clockwise direction, angle is not increasing, so we cannot move from second quadrant to fourth quadrant via third quadrant. Here we will go for fourth quadrant from 180 degree line through first quadrant. So we have figure like this, because for omega equal to infinity we have magnitude 0, that's why it will end at origin. Here we have magnitude 0 and here we have omega equal to infinity. Let us define direction. So in this case we want to evaluate the frequency at this point, because it is useful to mark a critical point minus 1 comma j0. There is no need to define a frequency at this point, there is no use. That's why here we will define first frequency at intersection point, suppose A, with the help of phase angle equation. Then we will define this value, or you can say distance from origin to intersection point, suppose A. You can calculate A from magnitude equation after putting a value of frequency at point A. Suppose at point A frequency is omega 1. So how we can calculate omega 1? We can calculate from phase angle equation. So you can say polar plot will cross 0 degree line. That's why phi becomes 0 degree equal to 180 degree minus tan inverse omega by 2 minus tan inverse omega minus tan inverse omega. Here I am writing 2 tan inverse omega h, tan inverse omega minus tan inverse omega. So we have 180 degree equal to tan inverse omega by 2 plus, let us simplify this. We have tan inverse 2 omega divided by 1 minus omega square. Now let us simplify. So we have 180 degree equal to tan inverse omega by 2 plus 2 omega over 1 minus omega square divided by 1 minus omega by 2 into 2 omega over 1 minus omega square. Let us define tangent for angles for both sides. We know 180 degree, tan 180 degree, 0. 0 we can write as 0 upon 1. So 0 upon 1 equal to, let us simplify. So we have omega 1 minus omega square plus 4 omega divided by 2 1 minus omega square over 2 1 minus omega square minus 2 omega square divided by 2 1 minus omega square. So we have omega 1 minus omega square plus 4 omega divided by 2 1 minus omega square minus 2 omega square. It is 0 upon 1. That's why we have omega 1 minus omega square plus 4 omega equal to 0. Let us simplify this. We have omega minus omega cube plus 4 omega equal to 0. We have minus omega cube plus 5 omega equal to 0. So we have omega square equal to 5. We have omega equal to under root 5 radian per second. So this is value of value of omega. This is value of omega 1. Omega 1 we have under root 5 radian per second. Let us put omega equal to under root 5 in first equation. After that we can calculate the value of A. So here we have A equal to K by 2. Here we have A equal to K by 2. Let us check. Okay. Now define a mapping of section C3. Now define a mapping of section C3. So along C3, you know, already we have seen so many numerical. Along section C3, we have s equal to minus j omega, and omega will vary from infinity to 0 or infinity to 0 minus. So we have g of minus j omega, h of minus j omega. In previous numerical, I told you g of minus j omega, h of minus j omega is the complex conjugate of g j omega, h j omega. So mapping of section C3 will be mirror image about real axis in GH plane of the previous plot or of the previous polar plot or of the plot for omega equal to 0 to infinity. So that's why here I am defining direct mapping of section C3 from S plane to GH plane according to mirror image of first plot about real axis with the reversed direction. So already we have seen polar plot for the first case. So let us define mirror image. So we have let us define the mirror image. So we have diagram like this. Here we have diagram like this, and here we have omega equal to infinity, and here we have omega equal to 0 minus. Already define the direction. So this is a mapping of section C3 from S plane to GH plane. Now let us see mapping of section C2. Along section C2, you can write S equal to limit r tends to infinity r e to the power j theta. Already I told you in previous numerical. So here you can map section C2 or semicircle of infinite radius from S plane to GH plane according to the point at the origin in the GH plane. Already I told you we have seen mapping of semicircle of infinite radius from S plane to GH plane in previous numerical. In same way, we can map section C2 from S plane to GH plane for the given numerical or for the given open loop transfer function. Now let us see how we can draw the Nyquist plot. Horizontal will define real of GH. वर्टिकल विल डिफाइन इमेजिनरी ऑफ GH. बट आपको एग्जाम में C2 की मैपिंग दिखानी है. आप C3 की मैपिंग डायरेक्ट लिख सकते हो, बट उसका भी प्रॉपर रीजन लिखना है. बट C2 की मैपिंग आपको प्रॉपरली दिखानी है. After that we have Nyquist plot. So now let us see how we can define the Nyquist plot. Define the direction. Define the direction. Here we have omega equal to 0 plus, and here we have omega equal to 0 minus. Here we have omega equal to infinity. At this point we have value, we have magnitude 2k. At this point we have omega under root 5 radian per second, and this distance already we calculated, it is k by 2. Now let us see how we can define critical point minus 1 comma j0. Suppose we have critical point here minus 1 comma j0. Now according to the value of k, we will define where critical point will lie. Maybe inside the inner circle or maybe inside the outer circle. This is inner circle suppose, and this is suppose outer circle. So according to the value of k, we can decide critical point will lie inside the inner circle or inside the outer circle. So first for we can say, let us consider k by 2 greater than minus 1. Here I am considering k by 2, not minus k by 2, but in one numerical I considered minus k by 2 greater than minus 1, because we have k by 2 in right half of S plane, but we have critical point in left half of S plane. That's why I am writing k by 2 greater than minus 1, or you can say k greater than minus 2 or k greater than minus 2. So what will happen if we have k greater than if we have k greater than minus 2, what will happen? So if we have k greater than minus 2, you can say minus 1 comma J0 will lie inside the inner circle. And so you can say inner circle, you can say inner circle, you can say inner circle or Nyquist plot n circles minus 1 comma j0 once in clockwise direction. That's why n becomes 1. If n becomes 1, you can calculate stability of the system using Nyquist stability criteria. Here we have p equal to 0 because we don't have any pole for the open loop transfer function in the right half of S-plane. So according to Nyquist stability criteria, means according to n equal to z minus p, we have z equal to 1. So system becomes unstable. And here we are talking about instability of the closed loop system. Similarly, we can define if k less than minus 2. If k less than minus 2, then what will happen? If k is less than minus 2, critical point minus 1 comma j0 will lie outside the outer circle. Means Nyquist plot does not encircle the critical point minus 1 comma j0. That's why n becomes 0. If n becomes 0, you know p is already 0. That's why according to Nyquist stability criteria, n equal to z minus p, we have z equal to 0. Z equal to 0 means there is no pole for the closed loop system in right half of S-plane. So system becomes stable. So closed loop system becomes stable. Thank you.